Hey, good evening, everybody. Come on in, sir. You right on time. Come right on in. Sit as close as you can. Wow. Hey, thank you all, first of all, for being here tonight. I know how it is on a weeknight. Ali, man, my very first deacon. Yes, sir. To get out here at 7 o'clock, fight that traffic, come all the way from Shelby,
Wow.
Kannapolis, Concord. Thank you all. Thank you all. Because if you're here, that means that you're very, very important to me. I'm very excited about this opportunity and what uh, this company is bringing to market, largely because for the first time in my life, I've been in business for 30 years. This is the first time I can honestly say that I have a product that will change people's lives. I mean, my life has been changed because I've been introduced to this company and to this test-based supplement system that you're going to hear about on tonight. And so I wanted to gather some of the people that I know, one, are like-minded. They care about people. They care about themselves. They care about their health. And they're also business-minded. I want to do something significant to really impact our community, but all people, but in particularly our community, because most of these inflammation-based chronic illnesses are more prevalent in our community than any other. My family, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, all of those things that before I was introduced to this science, I thought was just a part of getting old. I thought you were supposed to get old, have arthritis. I thought you were supposed to get old. And I'm married to a nurse. I got a registered nurse, been living with me for 40 years. And so when they told me I had arthritis in my knees, I thought that was just a part of getting old. Turning 60 this year, they told me of the 3 types of arthritis, I had the only one that was they don't do knee replacements for.
Wow.
Told me I would be taking cortisone shots and some sort of pain management medication for the rest of my life. My dad had it, so I thought it was hereditary. I thought it ran in my family. Turns out it ran in my diet. you change that, and most folk are not willing to go to the extremes to reverse it through diet. But here, you're going to hear about this breakthrough product, this test-based system where you don't have to change your diet. What if you don't have to change your diet and you can get your body back to the way God intended for it to be? And so I've been on this product now for about 10 months. And for those that know me and have been around here for the last couple of years, I couldn't do this. I couldn't stand and walk freely. I had a knee brace on. I had to sit during praise and worship. Had to stop doing things I love like golf and play basketball with my grandson and all that kind of stuff. And everybody knows I really take pride in taking care of myself, being fit. And so I had to adjust all of that. No cardio. They told me none of that anymore. Start swimming, start doing other things. And 10 months of being on this balanced oil, now I got no pain, and I'm on no medication, none whatsoever. And my arthritis is completely gone. And so when I called my doctor, who's also a friend of mine, and told him that the arthritis that he diagnosed me with 18 months ago is completely gone, he said, how? I've never seen that happen. I got a text from him. He was trying to come tonight. And I sent him a couple videos, and my doctor said, this is a game changer. This is going to change everything, and I want more information, and I'm interested in the opportunity, but I'm more interested in what it can do for me and my family and my patients. And I promise you, I brought you here tonight to hear from someone that I highly respect and admire for a number of reasons. One of the most successful people that I know. The last opportunity that I was a part of, he was one of the original recruits. After the 4 founders came together, he was one of the very first people that they called, and for 31 years he helped build that company, and he was the one that expanded that company internationally, took them to Asia, took them to Europe, took them to South America, built 28 countries around the globe, 31 years, and our paths had crossed. We have mutual friends. We've had opportunity to have some fellowship, but neither one of us had any idea that the Lord was so ordering our steps to bring us back together. And this opportunity allowed us to really become close. He's a brother in Christ. He loves God. He loves people, and he wants to serve. And I was so excited that he would come here and share with some of my friends that I asked all you to come out and do me a favor, and thank you so much, because we have Mr. Larry Raskins in the house tonight, and he's going to take over the rest of the evening. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Well, awesome. Can you hear me? You can hear me in the back, right? I don't think I need a mic. But it's great to be here. I didn't know where I was going coming here. You know, and all of a sudden, when you walk into that door, it's like saying, wow, you really did it up in this. This is a beautiful place. And so it's wonderful to be here in House of Fellowship. And I want you to know that this is my first meeting. I've been doing this business for a year. I've been doing it in my chair, in my home office, and I built a very significant business globally in my chair, in my office over the last year. But now it's time to build it like I know how to build it. I've built a base. It works. I've proven the model. I understand this industry, and it's direct to consumer. If you haven't figured that out yet, it's a direct to consumer, direct selling opportunity. I've been in this space for 38 years full time. I've never had a part-time minute in it, never. I didn't understand how elementary school teachers and truck drivers and mattress salesmen and waiters could make over $1 million a year in 1987. I was watching this in real time, and that was a lot of money back then, and it's still a lot of money today. And so I'm sitting there like you would be sitting there saying, how is all this happening? What did they know that I couldn't learn if I made a decision to learn it? I went to college. I went to Coastal Carolina when it was NAIA, and there was nothing but sand between Conway and Myrtle Beach. Anybody remember that? Nothing but sand. And halfway there was Myrtle Beach National Golf Course, right? That's the only thing that was there on the left side, going down to the beach. And so I was there in 1978. It's my alma mater. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. BMO? BMO, brother. Okay. And so I just wanted to give you a little background that this is not something I'm test driving. I'm not toe dipping. I am fully in and highly motivated. And I have a skill of teaching leadership in this profession. I don't play games. I'm direct. I'm telling the truth. And we'll see where it all lands in about another 30 to 45 minutes. So as Terry mentioned, I am just so excited that I get to do this with him because he's such a great guy. I've gotten to know him a little bit better just recently than I've known in the past. We do have a lot of mutual friends, and I know that we're going to build something special. He mentioned some things, however, about the community, demographics, we call it, from the business standpoint, right? So demographics are impacted differently based upon the socioeconomics of the demographic. We have a problem today with our food supply. We have a situation with ultra-processed foods, man-made food, GMO, pesticides and herbicides on all of our vegetables. Anything that's in a can has preservatives in it to make it last longer, okay? It should not be in our foods, but it is. And the problem with anything in a box is that it's ultra processed. Wow, tough word. But the reality is, for us, is seed oils. If you look on anything that you eat, it's got seed oils in it. Soybean oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, and they're highly inflammatory. We're going to talk about that today. As Pastor Terry said, The reality is that we are pioneering test-based nutrition. How many of us have been taking supplements for a long period of time and we believe that they're working? Let me just say to you, I'm going to go through some information. You're going to find out most of us, right? But I'm going to just talk to you about opportunities in general. We know that the biggest opportunities usually solve problems no one else is solving. As an example, just going to run through this real quick. Airbnb, great idea. You know, rent a house for the same thing you can get a hotel room for. Pretty good idea. Uber, fistfights, violently opposed by taxi drivers. Taxi drivers were beating the heck out of Uber drivers around the world, right, when it happened. You got Netflix. Netflix, 20 years ago, didn't even exist, and now they're paying A-listers. Big bite out of Bollywood and Hollywood, right? You have Amazon, who's reinvented retail, and Zinzino is going to be the largest preventative health company in the world. I don't think I know that. I know that I know that. It just so happens the biggest companies in the world were at one time not the biggest. They had a first year, they had a first 5 years, a first 10 years, and the good news is Zinzino is a well-established, financially strong company. So Zinzino is a solutions-based company. As I mentioned, we all take supplements. I read the back of a label. I take supplements. I do deep dives on the supplements. I used to manage and operate health clubs before I got involved in the direct selling industry. Before that, I was an athlete, competitive athlete. Got drafted to play baseball. Nine-letter guy in high school. I was an athlete. But along with athletics, right, you have injuries. When you get older, I'm 68 years old, just had a birthday. Ankles, knees, joints, hips. I just told everybody in here, don't mean to really share all my stuff, but Monday, I go in for a hip replacement. Now, I'll just tell you, you can't fix arthritis in a hip. It's when it's bone to bone, you got to do something about it. But I hear that the hip thing is real simple. You're in and out in 45 minutes. I'm loving that. And I can still play my golf. But how many of us take supplements and believe they're working? Most of us believe that. But how many of us know for sure? None of us know for sure. You read about a deep dive, about a random blind, double peer-reviewed study, all these things that you hear that are big words, we don't know what they mean. Keyword random, that means who are they? Random. What's their genetics? I don't know. What's their blood? I don't know. They're not my blood, right? It's not my blood, it's their blood. So this is test-based nutrition based upon a blood panel. Your blood is tested to see where you are on the baseline biomarker of what these supplements will do for you. Let's talk about that. Today, people are more educated. As I'm talking to you right now, I'd like for you, if you don't mind, take your phone out, and I want you to put in there the importance of omega-6 to omega-3 ratio to your health. The importance of omega-6 to omega-3 ratio to your health. Because this is one of the more important tests that we perform. So you and I, no matter if we met for the first time like we are today, you say, you know, because Pastor Terry knows me, there's some credibility there, some mutual respect, right? But, you know, who is this guy? Well, I'm easy to find, okay, number one. If you want to know, research me, I'm easy to find. But how about the information that I'm giving you? And then you can do ChatGPT, you can do Google, you can find anything you want to find. Because people don't believe the experts online anymore because information is so readily available. They can find the truth. People want the truth. They want, when they take a supplement, they want clean ingredients. They want results, but they want evidence. Evidence. And being in the fitness industry, it taught me one thing: the mirror is a liar. Anybody go to the gym, right? I see a couple people go to the gym, right? You worked out, remember when you were in really good shape? Remember that? And you look, the mirror said you look good, and you did. But it doesn't tell you how healthy you are. Your blood doesn't lie. Your blood doesn't lie. And so I just want you to realize that this company is a publicly traded company, 20 years old. 20 years old. In the last year, they have purchased 3 companies, merged their leadership into Zinzino for additional global expansion. They've grown since the pandemic, through the pandemic, 150%. Do you know of any company that has grown 150% through COVID? I don't. In the direct selling industry, everybody was crashing because all meetings stopped. You couldn't see anybody face to face anymore. And if you didn't adapt by the Zoom communication, you suffered. Your company suffered. 1.6 million dry spot blood tests to date, the largest omega-3 database in the world. And what's exciting is that we're serving 100 markets around the world, fully open in 45. So you know people in Charlotte, you know people in Raleigh, you know people in South Carolina, you know people in Florida, you know people in Georgia, you know people anywhere else other than here? Well, good, because you're looking at a guy that has distribution on a global scale, certainly all throughout the United States. And wherever you have people, plus we have this technology here, time and distance stands completely still. Distance doesn't matter anymore. How many people agree with that? Distance doesn't matter anymore, right? So I want you to know that we're pioneering this. No direct selling company has ever attempted to do what we're doing. No supplement company has ever attempted to do what we're doing. Now remember, you got your phones, you're hearing what I'm saying, right? You can do a deep dive on all this information I'm giving you. I encourage you, do that, because you're going to see, oh my gosh, they are on to something. So I want you to see the trajectory. Now, right now, we are right at around 600,000 customers. We will be 1 million customers by the end of 2025. But our projected target for 2035 is 20 million customers. Now, Pastor Terry knows I've seen this before. I started with a local company by the name, well, it wasn't actually local, it was actually in Michigan, but it moved down to Charlotte, North Carolina, a company by the name of ACN. I pioneered that company, built all the United States, built all of Europe with some people that I recruited, went to Asia, Asia Pacific, saw the entire world. Out of the last 11 years, 9 of those years I was in Latin America, building all of Latin America. So I've seen a lot of the world, built a lot of great relationships, built a tremendous amount of revenue for that company. But here's what I can say to you, 20x. We all have an opportunity to participate in a piece of that pie of growing 20-fold in the next 10 years. So there's an old saying is that you had never been in the right place at the right time. Tonight, I took that away from you. Took it away from you. You can never say that again. You know, some of the biggest companies had a first year. Some of the biggest companies had the first 5 years. This is a 20-year-old company, publicly traded. First quarter revenue, a first quarter report just came out. By the way, the symbol is Zinzino AB. Zinzino AB. Their stock has doubled from 7 to 14 in 1 year, right? Their quarterly report came out 5 days ago. From first quarter 25 to first quarter 24, grew 79%. Is that a lot of growth? How did that happen? But there was a problem in the company that I left. And the problem was, in December of 2023, we made a decision, the company that I built with the co-founders, with Terry, to close 26 countries. All the relationships that I established, all the people that did a great job in building that company, their incomes were taken away. We closed the doors on the international, kept the US and Canada open. And so what I had to do is I had to find a home for all of these people around the world. Our European team, one of the guys, the number one money earner in our company, I recruited him back in 1998, Art Napolitano. I had to find a home for him. He needed to find a home. And out of the 2 companies that we were researching, Zinzino was one of them. And I want to let you know this, I was not looking to leave my company. I had no intention on leaving my company. If anybody knows my story, I've made a small fortune, and I was continued to be paid a fortune in that company, and I left for various reasons. But when he decided to get involved in Zinzino, and I agreed that that was the place from everything that I looked at, I put my wife in under him. So I let Artie sponsor my wife, something I should not have done. I should not have done that. And we built it. I threw leads, and then I'm the kind of guy, if I start to understand something, I got to do it. And the bottom line was, around my responsibilities for ACN, I was doing Zinzino. And by the December, it blew up. It just blew up in growth. And I knew that it was going to get out that I was doing this. And I went in to our headquarters in Charlotte in January of this year. And I told Robert, my boss, and he had to fire me after 31 years. No severance package, nothing. But I had skill. I knew how to do this. And I left with a base of income that I created as this thing was building part-time. Now it's March. I got an organization of almost 10,000 customers, okay? 2 months full-time. And I'm here to look you in the eye and let you know the engine has just started running. Nothing is here in Charlotte. You are here in Charlotte. You know what's here in Charlotte? You. Look at each other. There's your competition. No one's doing this. No one. And no one knows about this in our communities. This is what's very exciting. As you can see, the boldness. We believe we're going to do 100 million customers worldwide. We're opening up 4 countries a year. Brazil, Philippines, Peru, and Japan is in the next 12 months. Brazil, how many people understand how big Brazil is? That's a massive, massive opportunity. And we can have it. Who do you know? ¿A quién conoces? In Spanish, who do you know? Who do you know and who do they know? And where do they know them? I want you to think that way, because if you're not thinking that way, you're thinking too small. So I want you to know, what is test-based nutrition? It's an at-home dry spot blood, a poke in the finger, 2 drops of blood in a circle. You send it off to the lab, goes to Florida, and that is airmailed to Oslo, Norway, to Vitas Analytics, the #1 dry spot blood laboratory in the world. And when you take your test, the way it's going to work is that you immediately get on one of our products called balanced oil. So you take the test, you have a number, you take a photo of that number, because they don't know your name, it's privacy. They don't know you, they only know you by a number. And when your test is ready, they email you. You go to a website called zinzinotest.com, you put in your number, and you get your score. And you're not going to be happy, because you are a tower of raging inferno of inflammation. I'm sorry, but I'm going to inform you that the younger you are, the more inflamed you are. If you're not eating well, you're inflamed, and you know whether you are or not. But your blood is going to tell you the truth, right? So you start on this oil, and then for 120 days, right, you start taking it each month, month 2, month 3, month 4, and on month 5, 120 days for your red blood cells to turn over, you get a second test. And that second test is going to tell you what your score is. We'll talk about that. So you're going to see quantifiable, measurable results before, during, and after. So Vitas is the #1 lab in the world. All these awards. They have 1.6 million dry spot blood tests, the largest omega-3 database in the world, and we gave it to them. We're their #1 client. So I want you to realize that we have this opportunity. We can provide people a test that they need, the whole world needs, before they know they need it. That smells, that tastes, that looks, that feels like an opportunity. Like I said, I've been here before. And so here is what omega-6 is. Now, if you've been looking at your phones, omega-6 is an essential fatty acid. I did not know about this test. I'm going to tell you, with everything I know about omega-3. I was taking omega-3 fish oil. But I didn't know about an essential fatty acid test. What I found out is that omega-6 is in everything. And it's very, very inflammatory. And like I said, the ultra-processed foods and all the seed oils just keep our bodies inflamed. And our body doesn't make omega-6. We get it from the food and the supplements we eat, and it's pro-inflammatory. Omega-3s is an essential fatty acid. Our bodies don't make it either. And we get it from the food and the supplements we take. And it's anti-inflammatory. And so I want you to realize that with the hidden health crisis that we have, it's critically overlooked with chronic inflammation of what omega-6 gives us. So I talked to one of the doctors and the scientists and all of the NIH doctors that I have on my team. Anybody know what the NIH stands for? National Institute of Health, right? National Library of Medicine, PubMed, the governmental health website. Everything that is on PubMed comes out of the NIH and the National Public Library of Medicine, right? And all of those omega-3 doctors and scientists are on my team. Did you hear that? And they've never seen anything like the omega-3 formulation that we have. So this imbalance fuels chronic inflammation, the 4 major chronic illnesses of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and mental disorders like dementia and Alzheimer's is due to omega-3 deficiency. We have a global epidemic of omega-3 deficiency. So 3-to-1 is ideal. A healthy cell is when nutrients can get in, the membrane is soft, pliable, and permeable, and waste products can get out. A damaged cell, unhealthy cell, is hard and rigid. Nutrients can't get in. It's like a constipated cell, and waste products cannot get out. And look, the average score in the world is 25-to-1. What does your phones tell you? What does the research on that tell you? Right? So we're looking at an epidemic of incredible proportions, and that no one is letting anyone else know that. But I'm going to show you that it's starting to get out. So it used to be when things grew from the ground or fell from the tree. Science recommends 3-to-1. And then canned goods came into play, preservatives. Everything started affecting our food supply. We're 25-to-1 moving toward 40-to-1. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. And, this is not a political thing, but more attention now is being given to making us healthy again. And I think that's good for all of us, right? We just play the health card and nothing else. I think it's good. Awareness is a good thing. Now, I got this off of the NIH site. Look at all of the impacts of an omega imbalance right now. Do you experience any one of these now? I'll just have you glance at it. It was told to me that if you don't have cellular health and if you don't have gut health, you don't have good health. Period. Everything is about the gut, which is your central nervous system of distribution, and how that distribution impacts your cells. So very, very important. 97% of the population is unbalanced at the cellular level, and even Americans that take omega-3 product. I was on the #1 omega-3 in the world, Nordic Naturals. I took a 2,150 milligram dose, heavy dose of EPA and DHA. Heavy, heavy, heavy. $120 a month. And I was out of balance. And I was mad. I want you to know I was mad. You spend that kind of money, you better deliver, right? And there was no way for them to prove it. So I just figure I'm going to just take the best and just hope for the best, right? So I just want you to realize that the problem with traditional fish oil companies is in the refining process. It's called a polyphenol problem. Can you see that better? A polyphenol problem. Polyphenols are like the antioxidant of the fish. Okay? In the stripping of the contaminants and the mercury and the microplastics, when they catch the fish, unfortunately, they strip it of the polyphenol. Polyphenols act as a chaperone to take the omega-3 into the cell before anything breaks down. And without the polyphenol, it will break down. It won't even get into the cell. So that is really the issue. And with commercial fish oil products, the regular traditional commercial fish oil products, it's low absorption, high levels of oxidation. That's the problem. Lower potency, shorter shelf life, and generic dosing. Isn't this funny? My wife is she's a little gal. She's like 115 pounds. Been a yoga instructor for 30 years, right? Good for her, right? I'm 190 pounds. We've been taking the same kind of medicine, supplements for a long time. I get the omega-3. She takes the same omega-3, right? She weighs 115 pounds. It says adults take 2 on the back of most labels. Adults take 2. She weighs 115 pounds. She takes 2. I take 2. Is she overdosing or am I underdosing? I always wondered, how is it that we can take the same dose and I'm such a bigger guy and there's much bigger people than me? I don't get it. And now I get it, because the way that this works is through dosing. That means there is your body weight. There's a formula for 0.0136 times your body weight equals what it should be in teaspoons. Convert that into milliliters. And you take a dosage cup and you take the amount of fish oil for your body weight. That is the right way. Now that's science. This isn't guesswork. This isn't reading a back of a label. This is your blood and dosage based upon who you are and your body makeup. So revolutionary, we've cracked the code. 60% of all of our stuff is wild caught. Actually, 60% of the product is wild caught. All of it's wild caught. But 60% of the balanced oil is made up of oily fish in liquid form. Mackerel, sardines, and anchovies. The slipperiest, oiliest fish. Think of oily fish, think of liquefied anchovies, sardines, and mackerels in a blender, and it's liquefied. Doesn't look good, doesn't sound good, doesn't taste good. Good news is that it's none of that. It's just giving you an example in your mind. It's liquefied, oily fish in liquid form, combined with pre-harvested olives, premium high-grade virgin olive oil that is high in polyphenol in a natural state, but when extracted in the pre-harvested state, it's 7 times more polyphenol content. So you take oily fish in liquid form combined with pre-harvested olives put together in a bottle, you got a Mediterranean diet in a bottle. Now, if you ever heard of blue zones around the world, the coastal regions of the world where the centenarians are, that means people live over 100 years old, where you buy a loaf of bread in one of those zones. If you don't eat it the next day, it's gone bad. Everything's fresh. There's no preservatives and nothing. But most of them have a Mediterranean diet in a bottle. And so here's the DHA and EPA. As you can see, Zinzino's balanced oil outdoes everything out there right now in terms of measurement. Plus, it has the polyphenol content. Here is a person, one of the leaders that I work with, $1 million earner from never heard of Roden & Fields, Michelle? No? Roden & Fields is one of the skincare companies, big skincare companies. They eliminated their networking division, which destroyed their entire life, basically. Same thing that happened to our people in Europe. 35-1 was her first score. Can you see that up there? It says 35-1. She couldn't wait. She loves social media, so she posts all this stuff. You know how they kind of like, this is the way that they promote it, right? In 30 days, it was 14-1. In 60 days, it was 5.3-1. And here's what I want you to know. 95% of the people no matter what their score is, 25 to 1, 40 to 1, 80 to 1. He knows a gentleman that mutually that we know was 126 to 1, a vegan, in shape. He doesn't have a 6-pack, he's got an 8-pack. He's in shape, and he's a vegan, but his score was 126 to 1. His wife was 95 to 1 because they're both vegans. And he said, this test is crap. I don't believe it's real. And I can understand why he would say that. He says, I want to talk to your chief science officer. I need to understand why. I said, I can get him on the phone right now. I'm telling you, there's a reason. We don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm not a doctor. I'm a sales guy. You know, I believe in what evidence there may be, and then I can sell it, right? But let's put him on the line. Got him on the line. He started asking questions because that's what scientists do. They don't tell you, they ask. Well, tell me, what are you eating? What are you putting on your food? And when he said grapeseed oils, he says, wait a minute. He looked on a chart. He saw that grapeseed oil is 676 times more inflammatory than canola oil. He says, I found your culprit. And Corey says, there you go. I'm going to stop taking the grapeseed oil. Let me tell you what Dr. Clayton said. Ready for the shocker? He said, don't stop taking it. I said, Doc, what do you mean? I don't even understand that. What do you mean? That don't stop taking it? He says, yeah, the oil doesn't care. I said, Doc, the world I come from, if someone feels like crap and they've been eating fried chicken every day, I'm going to say, how about a salad? How about try a salad? I said, that's the world I come from. He says, the oil doesn't care. You don't have to be on an exercise program. You don't have to eat great. The oil will cut through that omega-6 down to safe levels if you take it every day. And I said, holy cow. So he said to Corey, he says, how long have you been on the oil so far? Because he just started. He just got his first test back. That's when he was shocked. And he was all mad. He says, 20 days I've been on the oil. He says, I want you to take a test today. If you've been on it 20 days, yes. Take it today. Call me in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Let me know what your score is. He got his score back. Take a guess what his score was in 20 days. You won't guess. So I might as well just tell you. 16 to 1 in 20 days. In 20 days. What's his score going to be in 120 days? Let me tell you this. When his score goes 126 to 1, down below 3 to 1 or better, how many customers do you think he's going to get? How many people do you think he's going to have on his team when he has that evidence? It's his evidence-based, measurable results, proof that these supplements work, doing something no other company or company has ever done. This is exciting, exciting. So I want you to understand, this is the guy I recruited to make this thing matter to me. 10 years ago, I was on the board of directors of a publicly traded company by the name of CV Sciences. CV Sciences was in the THC, CBD, hemp space. I was an early adapter in that 15 years ago. I'm a little older than you, so you can imagine when I grew up. You can figure that out, do the math. I'm 68, you know. So when I saw an opportunity in that market, I said, hey, let me see the hemp space. Not the THC space, the hemp space, right? And so we needed a VP of Human Nutrition. And we hired this guy, Stuart Tomk, out of Nordic Naturals. And so he did a great job for us, opened doors for us. I did not know that that meeting was not about CV Sciences. It was about what I was going to do 10 years from the day I met him. The whole reason why we met was for this very moment in Zinzino, because he is the #1 omega subject matter expert in the world. He opened up the doors for Nordic Natural and all over the world to make him #1. He's the guy. And when I brought this to him, he pushed back, introduced him to Dr. Paul Clayton. He's the one that knows all the NIH doctors in the government and the National Library of Medicine. He's their spokesperson. He put them all on the phone, about a dozen of them on the phone with Dr. Clayton. And when they were done, they said, we think that you have a formulation that has never been done before by anybody, and we really believe you have something special here. They moved all of their patients to balanced oil, to the balanced oil. They were on Nordic Naturals, now they're on the balanced oil, and now they are all doing much better. The testimonies are off the chart in the things that it does for people, as you heard Pastor Terry talk about. So very, very exciting. So I want you to know this is our product line. We have, as you can see, the Xenobiotic on the bottom left is the gut health. That is a phenomenal product. Right now we have 3 tests at the top, a balance test for your omega-6, omega-3, vitamin D, which is very important to test for, and HbA1c, which is for pre-diabetics. 38% of the country is pre-diabetic. But in the African American community, we got a problem here. And I think you all know that demographically, if you want to talk that way, it's more prevalent in your community than many others. And we have to make people aware that there are answers through testing, product, test again, no problem. Get off your insulin. How many people like that thought? So I'm letting you know, these are the testimonies we're getting all over the world, not just here. Here is the biggest thing that you need to know about the $220 million that we did for last year, is that 95% of all of that revenue is outside of the U.S. It's a Scandinavian life science company. Nothing is here in the U.S. You think I'm excited about that? Take a wild guess. I'm very excited about that. Autoimmune products, we have Extend, which is our multivitamin, multimineral. Gene is spring cleaning for your genes. You have all of the balanced oil. The Black Label Balanced Oil Premium is 4 times higher in polyphenol content, even though the regular balanced oil will do the job. You have the Revo, which is the olive oil, 7 times higher in polyphenol content, and of course our tests. So get rid of the pill clutter. This is what everybody goes on. This is, you take these 4 products, you don't need anything else. It's the balanced oil, it's a Xenobiotic, it's a multivitamin, multimineral Extend, and the Vivo. You talk about alleviating stress, anxiety, and restful sleep, gut health, cellular health, you're covered and smothered with those 4 products. Now, the opportunity. Opportunity is unbelievable where we sit. Trend is determined by your percentage of penetration into a market. 2.5% of the market, it's trending. 1.5% is where Central Europe is, with all these countries that make up 1.5%. Nothing really is happening in Central Europe, and that's where they started 20 years ago. But the United States, look at this. Out of 1.6 million tests, 45,000 tests in the United States. Let me tell you what that means. That means 0.0001% of 1% of the United States has been tested. 360 million, do the math. It's crazy where we are. And so, very, very exciting that I'm not in my chair anymore in my office. I have meetings now in Raleigh. I have meetings in Charlotte. I'll be getting out. I'm doing a tour in California, Texas, Virginia Beach, Tidewater area. Very excited. So to get $1 billion in sales, we need to do 5 million tests here. And we're far off from 5 million tests. So 8.2 million tests here will give us 2.5%. And that is a lot of growth for all of us in the room. Here's the good news. Remember I told you about the oil that cost $120 for me? You know how much this oil costs per month? $43 a month. I think I can put anybody on that product. Anybody. Anybody that cares about their health, wants to be healthy, wants to feel good, wants to get rid of certain situations. So here is the opportunity to make money. This is what I looked at. This is what I focus on, because once I believe in what I'm doing, I focus on, okay, how does it work? There's two different types of directions you can go. You can make supplemental income, and that's where most people start at, but you can do it one of two ways. Just building a customer base, earning hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars just by building a customer base. Earning up to 30% commissions, incentives, and recommending the opportunity and products. Partner career plan, now you're building a team. 10 to 15% on the online store that you will get when you start. Bonuses and incentives for recommending the opportunity. But you see, I've never been part of a structure called a binary. I've never been part of that before. 38 years in the industry, 2 companies, none of them were binary. So we build a left side and you build a right side. And Terry has been doing this for 10 months, sparingly, around all of the businesses he has, and obviously being a pastor here. The bottom line is that now we're together and we're really, really excited about working with one another. That means if you're working with Terry, you're working with me. And it may not mean anything to you. I get it. But I'm very excited about working with Terry and the leadership that I know that he can identify through all of you and people outside of this room and all the people that he knows. And Michelle, I'm not leaving you out of this, all the people that you know, right? But this binary is interesting because if you're a builder and if you're a recruiter and you already have somebody at the top of the left side and top of the right side, where do the rest of the people that you recruit go? It goes underneath every single person that is on your team. So as your second level recruits their first level, and how about if they have other people they want to recruit, it keeps on going down. It's spillover all the way down, and everybody starts overriding people they don't know and customers they never acquired. But you make team commissions on them, and you earn rank advancement bonuses on that. So very, very exciting about this kind of a pay plan. And I am telling you, being the first time in it, my income screams to the point that this is very different than the structure that I'm used to. It takes much longer in the structure that I came from. So I want to share with you how we start. You got to have product. So it begins with the test. So you get the smaller basic pack is 1 test, the advanced pack is 3 tests, and the ultimate pack is 10 tests. 97% of the people, because they understand it's all about the test, start with the ultimate pack. But sometimes you start where you have to start. Doesn't matter because we have a great fast start program. So I don't care where you start as long as you want to start and you do start, right? So very important. 10 tests is the first reason why people start at the ultimate pack. The second reason is that you buy it for $1,150 and you can sell it and have $2,000 worth of retail profit. That's the second reason. These are different packs that you can have here. Different packs, it's all that means. But the third reason is you get a refund. It's like a security deposit. When you buy an ultimate pack, as long as you get 25 personal product sales in a year. How long? A year. In the 13th month, you get your money back. Never seen that before. Look, I'm making money selling the product. Now you want to give me my money back? I'll take it. I'll take it. But I've never seen it before. Now, here's the thing that you have to know. I'm on the protocol. They call it a protocol, the 4-product protocol. My wife is on the 4-product protocol. In my house, I got 8 sales. No, I don't, because I take the shakes. I take the bars. There's some omega-3 bars. I don't know if you saw it on there. Omega-3 bars. I take the Zinzino. I also take the Zinzino Protect. There's about 14 products that I take. Oh, I take the collagen. It's a brand new product. Collagen, one of the best collagens on the market. My wife takes it. I take it. Now, let me put this out there. I spent $400 to $500 always on my health. I just need to that's normal. It's all relative to who you are, what you're used to. Got that? Now I'm spending like $325. So I've got rid of the pill clutter. I was taking like 20 products a day. Now I'm taking about 8. That's good. Got rid of the pill clutter. I'm spending less. Any of that good to me? You better believe it. N, it's test-based. I know it works. That's good enough, right? So that's the fourth reason. And the third reason, and the fourth reason is sometimes people are likely to do what you do. So let me show you how you make money when you get started. No matter what position you start, pick a pack, you can make this kind of money I'm about ready to show you. So when you get started, in the first 30 days, you want to get qualified. And you get qualified with 4 product sales, either that you take it or someone else does. 4 product sales, and you make $115 when that happens. In the second 30 days, this is a 120-day fast start. This is not a fast start. This is a slow, creeping, take your time start. Okay? But in the second 30 days, they ask you to get 1 person on your left and 1 person on your right. When you do that, you make another $460. Now, there is an assumption here on this example that you started with the ultimate pack. I just want to make that clear. But on the first bonus, it doesn't matter. For the 4 personal customers, doesn't matter what pack. You're going to make $115. But from moving forward here, all these other bonuses count by getting the ultimate pack. And the reason why that's important is because you get credits for the bigger the pack that you get. If it's a smaller pack you get, you just got to get more people in to equal the amount of credits to release the money. The money is going to be released, you just need to do a little bit more, right? But 2 partners, you make an extra $460 for a total of $575. In the third 30 days, you recruit 4. You can do this all by yourself, or you help your team recruit 2 people each. Now it's another about $1,200. And then you go X team. That means you go from 4 personal product sales to 10. X is Roman numeral 10. X, right? 10. And then you move to 25 personal customers. That's A team. A team's the most important team to be on, because when you go A team, all of your commissions double on your team. All of them. So not each and every month. You just maintain 25 personal product sales. All your team commissions are doubled. Okay? So very, very exciting. And if you get all this done in 120 days, you make $2,875. That is in euros. I have a lot of teams in Europe right now that obviously I do those presentations. This slide was done and I know how to convert it. So it's $2,875 in US dollars. This is a 30-day plan. I'm not interested in this business if I can make $2,875 in 4 months. I am not interested. 30 days, you got my attention. How much money will I make if I help my people earn $2,875 or something close to it? Great money as I'm building my team. Not to be gone over today, because you can only take a little bit at a time. Does that make sense, everybody? You take 1 bite at a time of this compensation plan. So what I want to share with you is next steps. In the life of a customer, I don't know if it gets any better than this. Doesn't come close. Because now you know that no matter what you've been taking, most likely hasn't been working. That's your takeaway. How do you know for sure? Get tested. Get on our products. And then measure again. And then you will see what we all have seen, the evidence to support it. But in the life of a partner, if people, anybody that has the intention of doing this but doesn't follow through, you're not going to do very well. Let me put that out there. It's almost like your faith. It's like a faith walk. Isn't it true? Your intentions are good, and then the world hits you right in the face. Kicks you in the teeth. And then you start doubting, and fear creeps in. And it's what are you feeding? Are you feeding the possibilities that this could work if I get around the right people, the right thinking, the right environment? Or are you feeding your doubts and fears? Letting the world get in, not thinking that it matters. Everything matters. So I just want you to realize that I realize this in taking this journey. When I came into this business, I started at the very bottom. Larry Raskin, big shot. 38 years, big shot. Well, you ain't a big shot anymore. Here's your first brick. What are you going to do with it? You're going to lay it. And then you're going to get another brick. You're going to put that down. And you're going to build another brick. And then you're going to, before you know it, you're building a building. One that will stand because it's on bedrock, not on sand. So I want to share with you something that everybody wants me to share with them. I'll share it in small meetings, but I will not share it in large meetings because we're not allowed to show it in the United States. This is what got me in the business. I want you to understand this. Let me step up here slowly. From platinum to crown. I asked Oren Sali, I was in Malaga, Spain. I brought my wife there as we were transitioning our team from my old company into Zinzino. And I said, tell me about your compensation plan. And he pulled that slide up because they're allowed to show it in Europe. We're not allowed to show it here in the United States. And he says, most of our people are between platinum and crown. And this money represents the reoccurring income on the product sales. Only product sales. There's 10 ways to make money. But that's only on the oil and all the products that you show in the product selection. And that is why I'm in this. Why? Look, all that money up there to the right, I've earned that. That's monthly income. If you're a builder, then add another 50%, 75% to those numbers. That's monthly income. That's what's available here. Now, people are making this kind of money. They're making it in Europe. They're not making it here right now because U.S. is not developed. But I'm well on my way. I will be at those numbers by the end of the year by helping Terry get to his numbers and all of you to get to your numbers. Now, I don't know, could you use an extra, this is 1,400 euros, which is about $2,000 extra a month. Anybody in here could use a couple extra grand? I don't know. Now, when you start, you're making nothing. $2,000, it might as well be $20,000. But when you make $2,000, how far off is $5,000? When you're making 5, how far off is 7 or 8? So here's my point. I had to learn this stuff. I didn't know anything about test-based nutrition, but I put a team together that did. And they're the best in the world. The most subject matter experts you could find anywhere in the world are on this team. And I have some things I want to show you that will help. I'm just going to show you one other thing before we close out, and I'll open it up for maybe some questions. I would like to show you this because I think it's just very, very important. Let me see. Where are you, Artie? There we go. Excuse me. Here we go. What is going on? This is amazing. It's playing tricks on me, this thing. Hold on. 1 second. Here we go. All right, find it. Sorry, everybody. Here. Oh, we don't have any. Does it have any volume? Okay. No, don't worry about it. This is Dr. Mark Siegel, who talks about, this just came out 2 weeks ago, about omega-6 in our foods, and omega-3, omega-6, omega-3 ratio to your health. I'll make sure that Pastor Terry has all these videos for you to look at, and we have other documentation that we've created to make whatever it is you getting customers and generating interest in the opportunity, you have nothing to do with it because the tools do the work. Does that make sense? When you have tools that do the work, it's a beautiful thing. When you can have the least competent, maybe the weakest person on your team being able to be successful because they got a tool. So let me just close this out here. I want to, first of all, say that I'm very excited about this first day, regardless of who does and who doesn't. Charlotte has been born tonight, as far as I'm concerned. And do you all have any questions at all about anything? There are no dumb questions. No one's being negative. It's fine. I've heard it all. I've been doing this for a year, and I'm a veteran in the industry. So, anything at all? Any comments? Any questions? Any thoughts? How many of you like what you heard tonight? Right? Well, here's what I recommend. I recommend. How many people are interested in figuring out what your number is? Yeah. We have some tests here, and they're $159 for the test, but the company wants you to be on the oil. The company wants the whole world to be on the oil. So this $159 test, we reduce it to $115, and we throw in a free bottle of oil. Now that is unbelievable. They don't do that anywhere else in the world other than the United States. So for $115, what do you get? You get a test and a bottle of oil. Each and every month, you then get a subscription of another bottle each month. There's no contract. You can cancel at any time. But that bottle will come to your house. You pay $43 a month on subscription. $43. On the 5th month, you get another bottle of oil, but with that bottle of oil, you get your second test, a $160 test for free. 2 tests for $115. Normally $320 you get for $115 plus a bottle of oil. So the value is pretty incredible for people that really are motivated to take control over their health. But we have 4 tests. I brought them as a gift. So anybody that wants to get tested, we can test you. You pay nothing. My gift. Right? Cool? And I'm going to stick around for a little bit. You guys, you're not tough. I've been doing this way too long. This quiet, this sometimes it's so quiet it's like a scream, right? This is nothing to me, right? So I'll be around for a little bit, so we can talk, have sidebar conversations, whatever. It's all good. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Larry, thank you.
You got it, brother. You got it.
Hey, guys, thank you all for coming. And please, at least, let's, greet Larry, shake his hand. I want to answer any questions you have. And if anyone is like me, sees what I saw, one, I want to help people. My goal is to help as many people as I can. I mean, I'll give you just a 30-second testimony. I went to the Lord 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, coming in.